Aditya Kanthy, President and Managing Director of Omnicom Advertising India, is placing a contrarian bet. While the industry races towards consolidation and efficiency, he's building scale and complexity. A 3,000-person operation designed to solve bigger problems, not smaller budgets. We sat down with him to understand what he sees that others might just miss. A very warm welcome, Aditya, and welcome to Storyboard 18.
Thank you for having me.
I would like to start with something as simple as you are building the ship and also sailing it. So take us through this entire journey.
It's a incredible opportunity and the start of a new journey. I've been at the company a long time, and at various stages you go through a moment of transformation. In this particular case, not just is it an opportunity for Omnicom, but it's happening in what I believe is a very significant time for the industry. So the exciting thing about all this is that while there is a huge transformation moment at an industry level, Omnicom is in, I think, the right place at the right time in India to be able to do something about it. And that's perhaps the most exciting part of this for me personally, that in what has been a long and rewarding journey, this is an interesting, exciting new chapter.
I'm very curious to know, a lot of brands, they let go of the sub-brands, and like you and I spoke, you are with Lintas, you're keeping Mudra. It is complex. How do you plan to navigate all of this?
It's a really good question, and one that doesn't get enough attention when we talk about our business. Omnicom's always been very clear that as a holding group, our primary function is to ensure that the agency brands through which our clients experience us, in this case TBW, Lintas, BBDO, McCann, and as you've rightly pointed out in India, Mudra, Ulka, another great agency, and then on the digital first agency portfolio, which is Connect, 22 Feet and MRM, we are very, very clear that our way to win in this market is through our portfolio of brands. And that is what makes Omnicom's approach to the business distinctive. It is also our greatest strength, because these are all agencies with reputations, well-established reputations, built painstakingly over the years in this market as well. And to be able to continue to operate and invest in those brands as we shape for the future is one of the subjects that has been, hasn't been paid as much attention as I think it should be in the conversations around the acquisition. And it's a tribute, I think it's a big testament to the importance of the Indian market and the strength of these agencies that Omnicom is betting on, these incredible, local, strong jewels, if you'd like to call them that, in our strategy to win India.
We've heard you talk about the connected capability hub earlier as well. What is it that the client should make of it if he's calling you on a Monday morning?
The way in which we think about connected capabilities is that there is with the amount of specialization that's happening as we speak, the balance between specific focused efforts to master a part of our business or our capability has to be balanced with the ability to be able to tie it all together. That's what really the connected capability story is about. A very methodical approach to solving for what I believe is a complex, but more importantly, constantly evolving environment. I think the more pragmatic approach, and the one that I believe clients will value, is where they have the option of being able to plug and play what they believe is best suited to their needs and what in consultation with us feels like the right solution for them. So that is the idea of the connected capability play, that we've got world-class capabilities, but the decision on what to bring in and at what point in time is very much done in collaboration with the client and with the openness that in some cases, some of those solutions may not even be owned by Omnicom or rest within our systems. And that's part of, I think, a modern company's playbook, that we should be comfortable collaborating with whoever we need to be able to help our clients win.
There are senior leadership in the organization who are chasing, efficiency. What is the math like? How does it work?
Obviously, there is no question that part of the expectation from an acquisition like this is to ensure that we are fit for the future. And there are parts of the way in which agencies are set up today that are more important to clients and those that are less important to clients. And that's this restructuring opportunity is an opportunity for us to be able to get that right. So we have taken some decisions in some parts of our agencies, because it's a reasonably large organization. We're talking about a few thousand people. And as you can appreciate, in some functions, in the non-client facing functions, there is room for change and to create that efficiency, and we've made those decisions. On the flip side, we are also blessed to have acquired incredible talent, right? So there is some astonishingly good talent in IPG's India agencies. And when you put that together with Omnicom's existing strength in this market, our effort, as we've set up for India, with support from the region and the globe, has been to protect as much of that valuable talent as possible, because that is the way in which we're going to be able to do what we need to help our clients and their brands shine. So in that sense, we've bet on talent, actually, and focused on the effectiveness side of the equation, the growth side of the equation, as much perhaps more than the cost and the efficiency side of the conversation. And we've done what we have to do to create that too, because that's where you create the room to be able to invest in that talent, right? So we've made some of those decisions already.
I'd like to pull the thread a little. While you are letting go of certain people, the layoffs happening, and you are retaining the talent, what are your thoughts on that? Because, utmost clarity is something that everybody deserves from someone who's looking from outside to an employee who is currently sitting in this office.
Absolutely right. That's a supremely important priority. And the only way to tackle it is to be clear about the principles guiding it. Why are we doing what we're doing? This is not about the individuals. Yes, some are impacted by it, but I think there is an acknowledgement that if the reasons behind why a certain thing is being done is clear and communicated clearly, then there is a shared understanding that it's being done in the interests of the wider organization, and in ensuring that we are able to set ourselves up properly to be able to win. So in our case, that thinking has been crystal clear. We want, as I mentioned to you before, we want to ensure that we retain as much of the client-facing capability as possible, because a lot of our clients have been working with us for not just years, but decades. They value the teams that they work with. They value the way in which we work with them. They want to ensure that in the process of this transformation, the core, the foundation around which the relationship is built holds, and that we are building from there, in some cases, rather than kind of ripping it all up and starting from scratch. And I think that appreciation of context has guided a lot of the decision making, and everyone in the system understands that. So when the decisions are being made, they're being made with that objective, and not really focused on a specific individual. So when the roles are being discussed, they're being discussed very much in that light. And the first 60 days of this exercise in India has been focused on actually doing that job as well as we can, and inspiring confidence in our clients and in our people that we're conscious of the value that they place on the relationship.
Aditya, while you give reason and logic to certain decisions which perhaps could ruin careers also, Where does AI fit into all of this story?
You know, at the top of our conversation, we spoke about why this was a transformative moment in the industry, and I don't need to belabor the amount of attention that technology in general gets in this discussion, and AI in particular. There is no doubt that some parts of our business will get impacted by AI, and I mean that in every possible way, which is not just in the creation and production of work, but also in our ways of working, right? In many parts of our operation. And the reason why this acquisition makes sense, and as I was telling you, we feel optimistic about it, is because some of that learning that needs to happen and the investments that need to be made to be able to compete come from scale. So we will be at the forefront of what those changes mean for our business. Now, to your question specifically on people, I also believe quite strongly that a huge part of what we do for our clients comes from great talent and insight, the kind of the emotional equity that we invest in brands, the distinctiveness that we help our clients create in market, the strategic thinking, the insighting, the craft are really, really important in what we do for our clients. And technology actually helps us perhaps unlock that in a more meaningful and effective way. So we are focused a lot on how the business looks today and what AI does to certain parts of that value system, which it will. It will transform, you know, the bottom of the funnel and the mid funnel work in an agency. It's the slightly more targeted content and advertising that we put out into media. But at the very top, which is where a lot of the value is in how our brands are shaped and presented, I believe that talent will continue to play a big role, and AI will only be an enabler in those contexts. What's really interesting and I think exciting is there are lots of things we don't see today, which are likely to open up even bigger opportunities. Remember, AI, as the internet did 2 decades ago, will also bring new advertisers into the
Totally.
into the economy. It will, I think, unlock a huge amount of entrepreneurial energy in small town India, in small and medium-sized businesses. And I think that aspect of what it can mean for our business is underreported and equally important. So yeah, and that when that happens, our talent will again gain from that opportunity, which is usually how technology plays work out in creative businesses over time.
So Aditya, the layoffs have been done, or there is more that is coming our way?
Yeah, so the layoffs that had to be done as part of the restructuring and the integration have been done. And as I mentioned, they've been focused almost entirely on the support functions where there was a duplication of roles across all of the agencies that we're putting together in this new entity. That job is done. The people who are impacted by that have been spoken to. And I think by and large, we've done what is right by them as well in this process of parting ways with them. There is in our business a usual amount of attrition and churn, which is business as usual in the industry, which is likely to happen, but there will be no more layoffs specifically in the context of this integration anymore.
Talk to me about the office that is being changed, because we hear a lot of conversations saying we don't know which office we are coming out of. So what is the plan?
Yeah, we're still in the process of closing that out. The first part of this journey was focused on people, clients, and our new structures, and we've made a reasonable amount of progress on that front. The next 60 days is about ensuring that those people are all housed in the same environment. And now that the structure is clear, which is that we're going to operate a TBW Lintas, a BBDO group, a McCann, and a digital spine that comprises Connect, 22 Feet, and MRM, our endeavor now in each of our locations where we have all our people to house them in environments which match that structure. It is unlikely that we get everybody together in the immediate future under the same roof across Omnicom advertising, but at the very least within these agency structures, we're pretty confident that in the next 60 days we'll have everybody in their respective new locations under their new leaders with a new energy and excitement that they can look forward to.
Wonderful. I think I'm done with the serious conversation. Now let's just go have some fun. So from the creative perspective, there's doom scrolling happening, attention span for each person is 3 odd minutes. What are you doing differently?
Yeah, that's a tough one, isn't it? And I think it helps that we have dealt with this kind of a challenge as an industry at various stages as the kind of the media environment changes, right? Our businesses has seen days where the primary way in which brands engage with people were through, the radio and then print and then TV, and the form changes, and then the internet. But at various stages, the what is expected of good content or how you get noticed and how you get someone's attention changes. And we're now in an environment where time is that major problem. The principle, though, is the same. If whatever time you have, whether it is 3 seconds or 30 seconds, if you're not relevant and entertaining and interesting, you don't stand a chance, right? And for all of the content that's out there, I believe that the talent we have in the agency business is more likely to be more consistent in producing work that you find interesting or content that you find interesting and relevant. And that's why we exist.
What are you doing differently now that you weren't doing earlier? What changed?
Yeah, a lot of things. I think the form in which our messages have to be delivered on behalf of our clients has changed dramatically, right? So I think that learning of the environment in which a client's brand is being consumed, and therefore the way in which they need to be spoken to in that particular context it's changing every day. So that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to ensure that those principles that helped us succeed and help our clients succeed stay, and the form in which it keeps getting delivered with that we are smart enough and quick enough to be able to respond to those changes in a meaningful way. So that change is constant. I think we're in an environment where you cannot sit complacent on the assumption that we know exactly what we need to do to win. And if you're not a learning culture, if you're not a culture that embraces change in a serious and considered way, we're going to struggle. And I think we're conscious of that. So there is many parts of our work that are in constant flux as it should be.
Talk to me about this one capability that you're building right now that none of us know, and it would be a surprise to your clients.
Yeah, well, you know of it because it's been reported globally, which is Omni AI. It was announced in Jan. The interpretation of that for India, based on what we are able to put into that backbone, it's an incredibly powerful combination of data, the world's largest database of first-party customer information, of deep cultural insight through Truth Central and Backslash, and then the kind of the commerce angle of it, right, through the acquisition we made of Flywheel last year. So that combination, I think, of Axiom, Flywheel, Truth Central, Backslash is very exciting. And to be able to do that in a market like ours, which has that diversity across different types of markets and different types of consumer groups, it can be quite powerful when we finally start to take it to market in the next few months. So I'm looking forward to that part of the Omnicom offering making a difference to clients in India, which at this stage, a lot of marketers in India haven't experienced.
Well, it sounds interesting for us
Yeah.
too. But before I let you go, one exciting question. Looking back in time while you and me are talking today, what is that one thing that works out beautifully well and you will celebrate it next year?
I've visualized that a little bit.
Of course, that's motivation.
Yeah, it is. I think the most rewarding thing, let's say a year from now, would be to see these teams under their new leaders feel like they've produced the best work of their lives in their new environments. So at the end of this year, if our TBW Lintas team, when they've produced that first big piece of work for a big client together in that new environment, same thing with BBDO and with McCann or with Connected 22 Feet, I think that would be the simplest, most honest, and most joyous outcome of the integration and a true test of whether we've succeeded in executing this plan well. So that's what I look forward to seeing 12 months from now when we talk again.
I see a lot of passion when you're talking about it. And, I think
it is about the work and the people.
Yes,
that's
yes,
all it
the
is.
feel-good factor, and I already see the excitement, and I'm wishing you all the best for the endeavors, and I hope everything works out beautifully well.
Thank you so much, and thank you for having me.
If Kanthy's vision plays out, we might just look back at this moment as the inflection point where agencies stopped shrinking and started to build again. It's a story worth watching.